On your screen, you'll see a list of agenda items that we plan to cover during the session. Today, we will discuss the program, admission requirements, and resources available to distance students. We will also share some information about the University of Alabama and the School of Social Work. We'll hold a question and answer period at the end of the session. To ask a question, just type in the text box on the bottom left-hand side of the screen like this. And feel free to type your questions during the session. We'll address your questions at the end of the presentation. We are recording this session. The recorded session will be placed on our website for future reference. We will also provide you with a link to today's recorded session in an email that we will send out in the next few days. So if you see a phone number or a contact that you are not able to get down today, we will be sending that to you in a little bit later on. And just a little bit about our program overview. All right, apparently we have Amanda with us, joining with us. Amanda, can you hear me? Allison?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Do you want to go over the program overview for us?
Okay. I can do that, and Dr. Jackson may want to chime in on that as well.
Okay.
So just let me know, Dr. Jackson, if that's something you want to do at any time. Our MSW program is offered in a primary online format. While most of the coursework is offered online, students must be able to attend an on-campus orientation in Tuscaloosa prior to the start of the program, as well as attend Saturday skills labs in the state of Alabama. Students attend skills labs on 4 designated Saturdays during each semester that they are enrolled in a practice class. Students do not attend skills labs during the semester or semesters that they are in field placement. In the past, skills labs have been offered in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, and Gadsden. Sites for the skills labs are selected based on the number of students enrolled from those areas of the state. In addition to the on-campus orientation and skills labs, students are expected to complete field hours in a social service agency. Students will choose from 2 concentrations: children's, adolescents and their families, or adults and their families. Students also have the option of pursuing an emphasis in program and agency administration. A typical student enrolled in the MSW primarily online program has the following characteristics. Many students work full-time, especially those students who already have a BSW and are enrolled in the advanced standing program. The average age of our current MSW students is 32, and our students reside in a variety of states in the southeastern U.S., with the greatest majority of students coming from Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. And I saw that a few of you were from those states, as well as South Carolina, Louisiana as well. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, there are 2 programs, the Advanced Standing and the 60-hour credit program. Both programs are offered in a primarily online format. This is a combination of online courses and mandatory skills labs meetings. We offer a 42 credit hour program for advanced standing students and a 60 credit hour program for students without the BSW. The primary online program for advanced standing students begins in the spring and summer semesters, while the primarily online 60-hour program begins only in the summer semester. Students in advanced standing complete 12 hours of bridge coursework in the spring or summer semester, followed by 30 hours of concentration coursework in the fall and spring semesters. Students in the 60-hour program begin their 30 hours of foundation coursework in the summer and continue into the fall and spring. In the summer following the foundation coursework, students may opt to take a course or to lighten the concentration year load. However, it does not speed up the graduation date. The concentration coursework is completed in the fall and spring semesters. When pursued full-time, the advanced standing program can be completed in just 3 semesters. whereas the 60-hour credit program can be completed in 2 years, included 1,000 hours of field placement when pursued full-time. Okay, now we're going to move to field education, which is my primary role in the School of Social Work. I am the Director of Field Education. When you, an advanced standing students, you are going to be required to complete a 500-hour field education placement in the spring semester, or in other words, in the concentration of your coursework. If you're in the 60-hour credit program, you're going to be required to complete 2 500-hour field education placements. One of those will be in the spring of your foundation year, and then one of those will be in the spring of your concentration year. We make every effort to work in providing you an appropriate educationally sound placement in your geographic location. And when we talk about geographic location, we really want to start where you live. And we start there, that's where we want to place you, as close to where you live as possible, and then may have to work our way a little further from where you live if we have limitations about what's available. So we have 2 ways to look at field placement in the spring. If you are wanting to be done in the spring semester and you are doing this the traditional way, you're going to have to complete approximately 32 hours a week, which ends up being 4 full 8-hour days in the business week usually. We have another option called an extended field education placement. And this is really designed to accommodate students who cannot complete 32 to 40 hours a week. Many of you are probably working full-time, have other commitments in life, and so we wanted to offer an option where you would be able to complete field as well. If you are to choose the extended option, you would need to make sure that you're able to at least work 2 full 8-hour days during the business week and during typical business hours, which for most of our agencies, especially in the Southeast region, most of that is from 8 to 5, 9 to 6, so that you will have appropriate supervision and appropriate client contact. We have an option of both Washington, D.C. internship program. It is a 35-year-old program. We have been taking students to Washington, D.C. for 35 years. We have a wonderful Washington, D.C. field coordinator, Carol Phelps. If you are advanced standing or when you move into your second year or concentration year, you're eligible to apply for the Washington, D.C. internship program. This program is a very competitive program, very competitive application process. There are stipends and scholarships available, and those are also competitive, but they certainly are available. You would go to D.C. for your Washington, D.C. for your spring placement, the semester that you're selected, and you would do your complete 500 hours in the agency that we have relationships with in Washington, D.C. You also get to experience wonderful events. Our students this year will be going to the Social Work United Nations Day. They always tour the Supreme Court. We even have a placement with Representative Terry Sewell. So it's a really wonderful experience, and I can't say enough good things about that opportunity. And it's open to students, again, who are advanced standing or moving into their second year in placement. We also have options for international placements. Dr. Deborah Nelson-Gardell is in charge of our international field placements, and we work very closely together as students are interested in this. We have students who have been to both Ghana and South Korea, and we are working on other options such as Australia and Mexico currently. You can find lots of information about all 3, traditional field placements, Washington, D.C. placements, and international placements on our website if you have more questions.
Hi, so I think this could be working now. I hope so. If you can hear me, it's Amanda Moore from the School of Social Work. I am the Student Services Coordinator. I just want to say a quick thank you to Allison for going over the program overview as I was figuring out how to turn on my microphone. So I'm just going to go through some of the admissions requirements for all of you. And after this session, if you have any other questions regarding the program overview or regarding admissions, of course, I would be happy to talk with you one-on-one. To meet the minimum admissions requirements for the program, you must have at least a 3.0 overall GPA on the 4.0 scale or a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale for the last 60 semester hours for coursework towards a completed degree. You must also have a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution. In addition to all of those admissions requirements we just talked about, applicants interested in the Advanced Standing Program must meet additional requirements. And Advanced Standing Program is for those of you who hold a BSW from a CSWE accredited program, a B average or better in all professional foundation classes, and no more than 1 C in professional social work classes. And in addition to that, a B or better in field education classes, or a grade of passing if it's a pass-fail. Conditional admissions. So in addition to regular admissions, we also offer conditional admissions where students may also be admitted to the program if they don't meet that minimum GPA or they have a test score criteria. However, a student must meet at least one admissions requirement to be considered for conditional admissions. Conditional admissions is granted at discretion of the department. Students admitted must maintain a B average or better for the first 12 hours of graduate attempt.
As a distant learner, you will have the access to the same resources available to campus students. You are eligible to apply for federal financial aid. Students who are eligible for military educational assistance may use their educational benefits here at the University of Alabama. Distant learners have access to all university library resources, including access to scholarly database, assistance with writing and citation, tools and tips for research, and the Interlibrary Loan Program. There is also a dedicated distant learning librarian on staff to assist students as they navigate the library resources. The Writing Center offers online assistance and tutoring to students who are unable to visit the campus location. The Center for Academic Success provides individualized tutorings, study skill workshops, and exam reviews through web-based methods to meet the needs of distant learning students. Blackboard tutorials are available for those who have never taken an online course. Distant learning students pay a flat hourly tuition rate regardless of residency. The rate does not include any applicable course fee or books. Students have the option to purchase access to the Student Health Center and the Student Recreation Center. Unfortunately, you must be enrolled as an on-campus student in order to be eligible for athletics tickets. The College of Continuing Studies offers scholarships to students who are enrolled in degree program facilities through continuing studies. You must be currently admitted or accepted for the admission in order to apply. Applications are accepted year-round and scholarships are awarded each semester. Now I would like to share some information about the University of Alabama and the School of Social Work. The university was established in 1831 as the state's first public college, and approximately 37,000 students attended UA, with about 5,500 of those students enrolled in a graduate program, and about 4,600 enrolled in distant learning programs. And we are an accredited and reputable institution. Accredited by the Council on Social Work Education, The School of Social Work was established in 1965 and offers a one-degree program, the MSW, for distant learning students. Faculty office and classroom are now currently located in Capitol Hall. Once renovation are complete next summer, faculty's office and classroom will be relocated back to Little Hall, the home of the School of Social Work. Our program, the MSW primarily online program, is currently ranked in the top 10 for online education by bestcolleges.com and was recently named the winner of the 2013 UPCEA Regional Program of Excellence Award. In the next few days, you will receive an email with information that includes important website addresses and contact information, as well as a link to the record section. And now we are open for questions. Amanda and Allison will help me with answering those questions, and I will read those questions out loud. For our first question, Marissa asks, is there a set date for the mandatory orientation for summer of 2017? Allison?
I am Amanda or Dr. Jackson. Do you know if there is a set date, but I'm not quite clear on what the date is?
I also am not aware of the set date. Dr. Jackson might know.
That date hasn't been set yet for the summer orientation.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Next question I have: will the email outline all of the application requirements? Yes, it will include all the information that we mentioned in this OIS, and that does include the admission requirements, both for the regular admission and the conditional admission. And what are the enrollment dates? Amanda?
At this time, we have 3 program start dates. You could start in the summer or the spring if you're advanced standing, and then if you are a distance learner, you would be starting in the spring as a 2-year student, as a 60 credit hour student. Now, if you're advanced standing, whether you want to start in the spring or the summer, you can be either distance learning or on campus.
Thank you, Amanda. I have one question that for military people, do you accept both the GI Bill and vocational rehab? Our Office of Division of Student Affairs for Veterans and Military Affairs will be able to give you more information about it, and we will send out that information in that email that we will include with the OIS. Kelsey asks, do you know if federal aids cover summer semester? Amanda?
From my understanding, there has been some changes on financial aid for summer courses, so my suggestion, as we typically do, we do refer to the financial aid office for specific questions when it comes to financial aid.
Chelsea asks, is there a way to call and speak with someone one-on-one about enrollment? We are more than welcome to talk and speak with you here at both the College of Continuing Studies Student Services and also Amanda Moore from the School of Social Work. She'll be more than happy to set up an appointment with you, and we can all sit down and discuss more about your enrollment.
I would just like to add that we also have a fabulous other student services coordinator who works more in retention who would be absolutely available to talk more curriculum planning if your questions are more curriculum-based, as well as our registrar would be willing to talk with students as well. So if you kind of want to get a more in-depth look at the curriculum and your specific planning, they are also available, and I can refer you to them.
Thank you, Amanda. I have Emily who asks, where are alumni now working for each of the concentration? Allison?
Well, we have alumni working really in multiple areas. That could be in medical social work, that could be in school social work, child welfare, such as DHR in the state of Alabama or DFACS in the state of Georgia. We also have alumni who went to the DC program who are now employed in agencies in DC. We have alumni in the veterans facilities, the VAs, in the military as well, bases. We have, like I said, medical, so that could be hospice or hospitals, home health care, dialysis. We really have alumni in many different areas of concentration.
Thank you. And I'd like to add one more regarding to Cornelia's question about military. We do have a amazing staff here, James Shamley. He also works with, especially with military students. So if you have any questions, just feel free to contact us. And again, we will include our contact information with the email that we will send out with the OIS. I have the next question. What is the application due date if you are planning to attend for summer 2017? Amanda?
We have 2 application deadlines. If you're applying for the summer term, it is February 1st, and that is a hard deadline, and we would encourage you to get started no later than the December time so that you can ensure to get all of the different materials needed not only by the School of Social Work but by the graduate school, such as test scores or transcripts in on time so that your application can be reviewed.
Thank you, Amanda. And I have Kendra who asks, what are the enrollment dates? I think Amanda has already covered that for us.
If you do have questions about the enrollment dates or your program start date or application deadlines, you can find those on our main web page and just type in program start dates, and it'll break it all down by semester.
Thank you. And I have Tiffany who asks, how do we apply for financial aid and scholarships? For financial aid, you will need to contact the financial aid office, but we are more than happy to give you more information if you decide to send us an email. That would be my email. That would be dan@bama.ua.edu. And in order to apply for scholarship, you will need to first apply for the program. You need to be admitted first before you can apply for the scholarship. Kendra also asked, what is the enrollment process? Amanda?
Enrollment is in terms of signing up for classes. Once you're admitted, you'll be contacted by our registrar with specific instructions on how to enroll for classes. And then you will, again, we encourage and we require the orientation being on campus so that you can kind of talk through all of your questions that you might have about enrollment.
Thank you. I have the next question. If I plan to go full-time beginning in January, when will I be able to graduate? Amanda?
So if you are a January start, can you still hear me? Okay. If you're starting in January full-time advanced standing, it's January semester would be spring, and then you would have summer electives, and then fall, and then spring field, from my understanding.
Thank you. Sarah asks, if choosing the advanced standing extended field placement option, when would one complete that? Allison?
That's a great question. If you do choose the extended option, you would complete that in the summer by the end of July. If you do 16 hours a week, which is the minimum, it would be the end of July you would complete, which means a summer graduation date for you. And I always tell students that it's a much better decision to be sane through graduate school than to try to cram too much in that you can't get done. So don't let the extension of being in the program to get filled done by 2 months or so make you think too hard about it. I think it's a really important and balanced decision that students make, particularly those who are working. And we really want to support students to make really good, healthy choices as they come in the program. One of the questions that often comes up with that is, do I have to register again for field and pay again for field? And you don't. So you just would extend it, and you only pay for it that one time.
Thank you. I have Carlos who asks, does field placement have to be in Alabama for those students who don't live close to Alabama?
If you're a distance learning student, we will place you in the geographic area, the state and county that you reside in. We do our let me just say we do our best to do that. Sometimes we're limited, particularly if it's a real rural area you're living in and we can't find something to accommodate you. You may have to drive to the next county or parish over, but we do start where you are located.
Tammy asks, do you have any field placement in SC or NC?
We have placed in South Carolina before. I think it's really going to depend where you're located, and if we don't have placements, we begin working on distance learning placements way ahead of time so that we have plenty of time to make contacts and to secure placements.
I have Greg who asks, I joined late. Is the slideshow available for later viewing? Yes, Greg. We will send out an email with the presentation, the record session, and with all the additional information for you. I have Mona who asks, if you previously applied for the program, will you have to reapply? Amanda?
Yes, there is a reapplication process, and there is also another application fee with that. So each time you apply, you'll have to go through the application process.
Next question I have, do we have to have the essay and references if we already hold a master's degree in another subject? Amanda?
Great question. The essays are required even if you have a master's, and so are references. We're just trying to get a better picture of how you're tied to social work, and these allow for us to kind of see your potential.
Thank you. I have Kendra who asks, if you currently work at an agency that has an LCSW and an MSW, can you do your placement within your agency? Allison?
Yes, that's also a good question. I would encourage you after the session to look on our website where there is a whole section on what we call worksite placements, and it will really go into detail about what is required for a worksite placement. I can tell you it is a possibility, but there are very many parameters around that potential option, and there is also a secondary application process to that, and for evaluation purposes we have to make sure certain things are in place that we are bound by with our CSWE accrediting body.
Thank you. I have Marcus who asked if one is doing the 60-hour program, what are the options do the extended field placement hours have? Do the hours have to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.? I'm asking because many of us work full-time within those hours, and a potential after 5 p.m. placement may be more suitable for a few of us. Allison?
Yes, that is often a question that we get, and we can negotiate somewhat within a workday, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, even 10 to 7. However, many of our agencies, particularly in this geographic location, do not offer enough hours or time with clients and the right kind of supervision. So what I really encourage students to do is really begin to negotiate with your employing agency at this point, begin to talk about, I want to go to graduate school, and many of you who work in social service agencies, your agencies will see this as a potential boon for their agency for you to have this degree and potential licensure for billing purposes. So to begin to talk about that and talk about the requirements that will need to happen. We do hold firm to the minimum of 16 hours a week, which are 2 8 hours, Monday through Friday. And we do this because we have found in the field office that there are just not the options with the correct kind of supervision and client contact for many of our students to get what is CSWE accredited for field placements. Let me add one more piece to that too. Someone asked about a work site option, and that is another option for students who are struggling to figure out how they're going to incorporate this field placement piece into their employment and other obligations. If you are in a social service agency, it may be that we can work in a work site option. You still have to do job responsibilities that are for field placement that are different from your employed job responsibilities. But sometimes employers are more willing to go with that option than for you to leave 2 days a week.
Thank you. Next question I have, how can I find out about whether I can use the remainder of my military scholarship? Like I said, we have James Shanley. He would be more than happy to help you with any questions regarding to military scholarship. And if you want, you can always send me an email and also contact us via our phone number. We're more than happy to sit down, walk through your case, and we'll be able to get you more information about your military scholarships. Next question I have, will there be more detailed information sent about the Washington, D.C. placement, Allison?
I'm not sure exactly what gets sent based on this presentation and other things, and maybe Amanda can speak what comes in the packets that go to students. But on our website, there under the field education link, there is information about the Washington, D.C. program, and I'm certainly happy to talk to you through email. That's probably the best way to contact me if you have more specific questions about that program.
I don't know exactly what College of Continuing Studies will be sending out following this presentation, but like Allison said, the School of Social Work, we would also just be super happy to connect you with any kind of information that you've learned about something like the DC program. I'd be happy to send something either physically in the mail to you or send you some links through an email. So I'm happy to answer questions and send you some resources as well.
Thank you. I have next question. Kendra asks, how many advanced standing students do you expect per semester? Amanda?
Well, these change every season. I would love to give you an exact number or more of a percentage of the acceptance rate. If you would like to email me, I can give you the exact number from our registrar. She has them. I just don't have them sitting right in front of me, and I'd hate to tell you the wrong thing. So any questions about the acceptance rate or how many students we accept per semester, I can send you some more data on that. Just let me know.
Thank you. I have Megan who asks, how can we find out more about the dual MSW with health? Amanda?
Yeah, I'm also really available to talk to you one-on-one. It's our dual degree with the School of Public Health. You'll get your MSW from our School of Social Work, and then you'll get a degree from UAB's School of Public Health. We have a campus partner at UAB in Brenda Campbell who is very willing to talk to students interested in that. It's a very flexible program dependent on whether you want to start with them or start with us. So if you kind of want to get into more what your program would look like, I'm happy to set you up with someone who can kind of break that down with you.
Thank you. I have the next question. What is the deadline for submitting documents for admission if interested in attending the 60 credit hour summer session? Amanda?
That's the February 1st application deadline is a hard deadline, so having all of your documents in before or on the date of February 1st.
Thank you. And I have Sonia posted our student service military personnel who works specifically with military students. His name is James Shanley, and he can be contacted via 205-348-0089. Next question I have, how many credit hours is considered full-time per semester? Amanda?
And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe for graduate education, 9 hours is considered full-time. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I don't necessarily work in enrollment, so if anybody has any input, please add it.
Yes. In order to be considered full-time for a graduate level, that will be 9 credit hours per semester. I have Kimberly who asks, is advanced standing program available for part-time students? Amanda?
I can answer that. Yeah, I can answer that. So advanced standing students do have the ability to go part-time, kind of knowing if you're wanting to do part-time before you start the program is very beneficial for you as a student. Our registrar is really great with talking with our students and planning out what their program would look like that would best benefit them. So if you're looking at starting an advanced program and also really think that the part-time option is best for your success, that's something that I can connect you with the registrar, getting that kind of personal look at your program.
And just a reminder, in order to apply for scholarship, you will need to be admitted to the program in order to apply for a scholarship. I have a question who asks, is there a window or deadline for scholarship application? There is, and that will be included in the email that we will send out with you with the links to information about our scholarship from continuing studies. Next question I have, how soon will we if we're accepted or not for the 60-hour distance learning? So how soon will we know if we're accepted for the 60-hour distance learning program? Our admission process usually takes around from 4 to 6 weeks. So after you submit all of your documentation, you'll be able to know what would be the result after 4 to 6 weeks. Next question I have, if I want to focus on adult mental health, is it possible to work in a field placement through UAB in Huntsville? Allison?
Yeah, can you read, I missed the middle section of that question. Could you read that again for me?
Yes, that would be, if I want to focus on adult mental health, is it possible to work in a field placement through UAB in Huntsville?
Certainly, there's all kinds of possibilities when it comes to field. We have an application process that students will be asked to complete, and in that application process, you will have an opportunity to select areas of interest, and you will also have an area to put down more specific pieces. With field agencies, there are several things that have to happen if we have not partnered with certain agencies, and we have to do an evaluation of those agencies to make sure that they have the necessary pieces in place to give you a really good, educationally sound experience. And we also have to make sure that it's a really good match for you and the agency. And we will work to do that. And there are always possibilities. It just depends on whether they're open to students at the time and whether we have the right match and the right educational pieces in place.
Thank you. And I do apologize, I missed one question, and that would be, are the online classes asynchronous? Amanda?
Can you hear me now? Okay, great. I can't really speak to how the programming and the curriculum, but if you really want to get a good understanding for how the semester looks, there's a breakdown of curriculum on the Bama by Distance webpage, as well as I'm happy to set you up either with the advisor or our registrar to kind of let you know the layout of the semesters.
And I'm happy to add a little bit to that as well. Most of our courses are asynchronous. The practice courses are the ones that require that you actually come to a site and actually meet with a faculty member, but the other courses are primarily asynchronous. You go at your own pace, going through the material, working with the faculty member that's teaching that course.
Sabrina, I'd like to also add to that. For those students who will be in the online or applying for the online program that are in applying for the 60-hour distance learning program, you will, while you're taking your very first field placement, you will also be enrolled in what's called integrative seminar that goes hand in hand with your placement. And in that particular course, most of the work is online, done at your own, really their due dates and done most of the at your own time if you want to do it at 11 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock in the morning, as long as it's in before the due date. But we do have several sessions that are what we call live classroom sessions, which will be a specific time that you'll meet with us throughout the semester for about an hour.
Thank you. I have Tiffany who asks, can you be an advanced standing distance learning student? Amanda?
Yeah, so we do have the distance learning option for advanced standing students, and you would either start in the summer or spring semesters.
Thank you. I have the next question. How many credit hours is the field placement semester? Allison?
It's 9 hours of credit hours.
Thank you. I have Tiffany who asks, does the application fee apply if it is in the same semester? It's in the same year, just a different semester?
Unfortunately, that is the policy each time you submit an application, that there is a separate application fee. That's a graduate admissions policy.
Thank you. I have the next question. Does your BSW have to be completed by the time you apply to the program? My BSW will not be complete to the end of next semester. Amanda.
You can absolutely start the application and submit an application before finishing your program. It will be contingent on the completion of your BSW program, but absolutely we have multiple students start the application and submit the application before they finish their BSW so they can go straight from their BSW program into their master's education.
Thank you. Next question I have. How many practice classes do we have to complete requiring classes in Alabama? I would be living in Texas and want an idea of how often I would travel to Alabama, both fall semester and summer too. Amanda?
So for kind of the layout of the semester, again, I would just love to point y'all to the curriculum layout on the Bama by Distance webpage, because if you click the curriculum for whether you're a 60 credit hour student or an advanced standing student, they have asterisks by the classes that require the practice piece, which will require the skills lab, and you can kind of count with that how many you'll be going on Saturdays. So sometimes it turns into about 4 Saturdays once a month in a semester. So it could, in total, if a semester is broken up on 4 to 5 months, it's 1 Saturday out of the month for that semester.
Thank you. I have the next question. Does the distance learning program follow the University of Alabama school schedule at Birmingham? Just wondering about start dates and exam. We do follow a semester-based schedule, and I do believe that UAB also follow the same schedule. The date might be a little bit different. Next question I have, what is the summer 2017 advanced standing learning start date?
I believe it's at the end of May. I can't give you the exact date for when the summer, summer. You can look that up on the academic calendar. May is going to be for the spring semester. If anybody has any input, please correct me, because I'm not 100% sure about the start dates, but they are listed in the academic calendar online.
So usually, I'll just add in, so usually students who begin in the summer are going to have usually a June start date. So, but again, there is the academic calendar that can give you the specific date. And you wouldn't necessarily be an interim, you would be summer 1.
Thank you. And thank you, Megan. May 30th is the first day of classes for summer 2017 semester. And that information can be accessed via registrar website. That will be registrar.ua.edu. Next question I have, how many classes will be needed during that time for the summer semester? Amanda?
You can, honestly, I believe it depends on if you're part-time or full-time. You can look at a curriculum breakdown online. I believe as a full-time student, again, that's 9 credit hours, so that would be 3 courses.
Thank you. I have the next question. If I do not meet the GPA requirement for the program, would I need to take classes to build up my GPA? Amanda?
Yeah, so if you don't meet the regular admissions at the 3.0 overall or the 3.0 in your last 60 credit hours toward a completed degree, you could take classes to build up your GPA if you were working toward another degree, or you could, if you meet a 2.5 or better, taking the GRE or the MAT would also count for your admissions.
I have Tiffany who had, thank you everyone, and I look forward to being a part of your MSW program. And also Mona who said, thank you ladies so much for this info session. It was extremely helpful, and I'm looking forward to starting the program in the summer of 2017. If you have any questions, just feel free to type it in the question into the chat box. We'll read the questions out loud, and Amanda and Allison will be able to answer your questions. Next question I have, will someone be available at the school near the end of the month or early January? Fiscally?
The School of Social Work, our School of Social Work will be staffed up until the 22nd. We leave on the 22nd for holiday, and we'll be back on the 3rd. So please feel free to reach out via phone or email. We will be there.
And for the enrollment, I'd like to add into that, and for the enrollment counselor, we would be on the same schedule. Do we have any more questions? I have next question. A full-time schedule will look like 4 classes plus the internship. Allison?
I'm not sure I understood. Say that one more time.
A full-time schedule will look like 4 classes plus the internship. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it depends on if you have a full-time student or a part-time student as to what your load will look like. When you're taking the field placement in the spring, and if you're a 60-hour student, the first field placement in the spring, you will take the field placement course, which is the 9 credit hour course, plus the integrated seminar, which is a 1 credit hour course. And then if you're in advanced standing or in your second year, 60-hour concentration year, you'll just have the field internship. And occasionally students do have other courses that they may have to pick up, like electives, or if they have a different sort of plan. But again, Amanda has referred you online to the different layouts of the plan, and I would encourage you to look at that.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions for Amanda or Allison? All right, since we don't have any more questions, we would like to thank you for joining our online information session today. And thank you so much. We will be sending out an email with the OIS, the recorded session for the OIS with all the links. And we're happy to assist you if you have any questions. Just feel free to send me an email or give me a call at 205-348-0089, or just send me an email. I'll be more than happy to assist you with any questions that you have. Thank you for coming, and roll tide.